October 22nd, 2021, the Ministry of Heavy Industries in New Delhi, India, published a now second amendment to the Automobile Wheel Rim Component Quality Control Order 2020. That was the announcement that meant that wheels for vehicles to be imported into India should, in addition to the previously required AIS certification, now also be certified with BIS. Now, if you're a wheel manufacturer or an importer of vehicles, then you are most certainly aware of this announcement. After all, it was originally said that wheels would have to have the BIS marking starting September 20th, 2021, otherwise they would not pass through Indian customs, either on their own or on the vehicle. Since BIS certification of wheels involves a factory inspection of the manufacturer in addition to testing in India, that was already a bit of a tight calculation at the time. And of course, it was further complicated by the corona crisis, which in particular made international travel impossible for the BIS auditors. So, on May 28, 2021, due to these time constraints, the announcement from September 2020 was amended the first time to the effect that the certification obligation for wheels would no longer come into effect on September 20th, 2021, but instead a half year later on March 22nd, 2022. Well, and now, likely due to the great pressure from the automotive industry and certainly in view of the looming further delays and inspection dates due to the ongoing corona crisis, the ministry has, at the end of October, again extended this deadline for the mandatory certification by another 6 months, meaning that wheels do not have to have the BIS mark until September 21st, 2022 in order to pass through Indian customs. So this is already good news for all wheel manufacturers. In any case, given how long the BIS usually needs to organize a factory inspection, it would likely not even have finished auditing all the manufacturers who had applied for certification long ago by March 21st, 2022. So this was the only logical way really to avoid further delays and supply bottlenecks. However, this second amendment to the wheel rim component order is not only interesting for wheel manufacturers, but also for importers of finished vehicles. How exactly? Well, the third paragraph of the first section of the full text of the September 2020 announcement includes 3 exemptions under which certification would not be required. The first exemption is quite logical. Wheels intended for export out of India obviously do not need certification for the Indian market, so those are out. The third exemption concerns wheels that are imported into India for only R&D purposes. Now, these 3 exemptions have remained. The second exemption, however, has now been amended. The original announcement of September 21st, 2020 said that if the number of vehicles using the wheels did not exceed 250 in any consecutive 6-month period, then the requirement for product testing in India during the certification process was suspended. In practice, this meant that if only 1,250 wheels, 5 per vehicle, were imported within a 6-month period, they still had to be certified, but not tested in India. Okay, so that meant that effectively 2,500 wheels could be imported per year without one of these models also having to be tested in India. Okay, 2,500 is probably an interesting number for many manufacturers. To be honest though, in the end, product testing in India is, while not entirely cheap, only a relatively easy part of the overall certification. So this exception hardly brought any real advantages. Moreover, no exemption helped importers of complete vehicles, as they had to go through wheel certification for their complete vehicles as well. So this second paragraph from the original announcement has now been replaced. The exemption no longer applies to the number of wheels imported every 6 months, but instead to the import of complete vehicles. If you import whole vehicles, the second paragraph now says, you no longer have to have the wheels of said vehicles certified separately. So if you import whole vehicles, that now is one less thing to worry about. Now, whether whole vehicles or just wheels, if you are affected by this news and have questions or comments, please feel free to contact us. You will find both our telephone number and relevant contact forms on our website. All right, with that, I say goodbye and thank you very much for your attention. Take care.